Great day, everyone! Today, I will be your acting teacher where I will be discussing another topic for you to gain some knowledge. I am Marivic Makaspak from BSED 12 M1. So, I will be starting my discussion with a question. Is anyone here are familiar with the story of Torbabel? If not, then I will give you a short summary about this story. So, Torbabel is about a Bible story wherein the people builds a Tor for them to reach the stairs of heaven, but not because they wanted to connect with God, but for personal interest. It is for them to elevate themselves. However, before they even finish, God already punishes them in a way of changing their languages, which hinders them to understand each other, and it resulted for them to not finish the Torah at all. So, are you now guessing what I will be discussing for today? Yes, it's about communication. I will be discussing communication for today's discussion. I will be discussing the 5 communication models proposed by different individuals. It started with Aristotle's model of communication, Shannon Weaver's model of communication, Osgood Scrum's model of communication, Scrum's model of communication, and White's oral stages of communication. The first model of communication that I'm going to discuss is Aristotle's model of communication. It has 5 elements, which are the speaker, the speech, the occasion, the audience, and the effect. The speaker will be the one who will delivers the message. The speech will be about the messages that the speaker is trying to deliver. And the occasion, it can be the SONA, meeting the avance, class discussion, and many more. While the audiences, it can be the citizen, the students, and so on. And the effect will be what will be the effect of one's speech to another. Aristotle's model of communication is mainly focusing on public speaking. He stresses the importance of audience in terms of communication process. It is also said that the speaker should adjust their messages according to their audience and occasion to achieve a particular effect. To better understand, I will give you some example. So let us say that I am a teacher. So I will becoming the speaker. And my speech is about, let's say it's about how to conquer stage fright. And the occasion will be, of course, my speech class. And let's say that my audiences are my students. And the effect will be my students will be able to learn how to overcome stage fright. The next model is Shannon Weaver's model of communication. It also has 5 elements, which are the sender, the encoder, the channel, the decoder, and the receiver. The sender will be the one that sends the message or the information source. The encoder will be the one that transmits the message or the transmitter. And the noise will be, it can be the sound of electric fan, sound of refrigerator, the commotion outside, or anything that is considered as an interference between the individual's communication with each other. The decoder will be the one that decodes the message, or it can also called as the reception. And the receiver will be the one that receives the message or the destination of the message that the sender is trying to deliver. This model is often called as the telephone model, since it was developed because of the technology of the telephone and the experience of noise coming from the switchboard. This model was proposed by two known individuals, which are Claude Shannon and Warren Weaver. To better understand this model, I will give you a very common example from this model. Let's say that I am calling my friend using one of the social media platforms, which is the Facebook Messenger. I am the one who's calling my friend, so I will be the sender, and the encoder will be our smartphones, and the noise will be the noises that we're hearing in each other's lines. And the decoder and the receiver will be both my friends, or my friend, because he is the one that decoding the message or interpreting the message that I am trying to deliver, while he is also the receiver, because the destination of the messages that I am trying to deliver is with him. So he became the decoder as well as the receiver. To add an additional information about Shannon-Weaver's model of communication, it is also known as the mathematical theory of communication. It is also said that this model was designed to develop effective communication between the sender and the receiver. It is also stated that one of the elements of this model has an important part or role in terms of communication process, which is the channel or the noise. The third model will be the Osgood-Scrums model of communication. Unlike the two models that I have presented a while ago, this model is different because it only has three elements, which are the encoder, the decoder, and the interpreter. The encoder will be the one that decodes the message or sends the message, while the decoder will be the one that receives the message, and the interpreter will be the one or the person that is trying to understand, analyze, and perceives a certain information. This model is also called as the circular model because you can play the three elements once, twice, thrice, or hundreds of times. It's like a cycle wherein you can be the decoder, the encoder, and as well as the interpreter. The best example of this model would probably the Miss Universe pageant, wherein one of the contestants will ask for an interpreter in order for them to deliver their answers or the messages that they want the audience to hear. For example, Miss Colombia, let's say that Miss Colombia is the encoder, wherein she will be the one who sends the message or her answer from a certain question, while the decoder will be the audience of the Miss Universe pageant, and the interpreter will be Miss Colombia's interpreter, wherein the person that will be interpreting the answers of Miss Colombia that she wants the universe to hear. The fourth model is the Scrums model of communication. It also has 5 elements, which are the source, the encoder, the signal, the decoder, and the destination. The source is where the informations are coming from. The encoder will be the one that encodes the message. The signal is the transmitter. The decoder is the one that decodes the message, while the destination is where the messages arrives. It is the second model of Scrum. Last model will be the white stages of oral communication. Unlike the other models that I have presented a while ago that only has 5 elements, this model has 8 elements, which are the thinking, the symbolizing, the expressing, the transmitting, the receiving, the coding, feedbacking, and monitoring. This model was proposed by Eugene White in 1960. According to Eugene White, communication is a repetitive, cyclical event, but the dynamic equality of interaction is not degraded. According to Eugene White, it is a step-by-step sequence, but it is possible to start at any stages, just like when we are reading or writing. Because when we are reading, we just randomly start at any pages, especially when we are looking for something that we really need to comfort us, or something that we really need in order for us to be healed. As for myself, it is the way how I read some books. I just randomly turn the pages and look for something that has a connection with me or has a connection from the situation that I'm currently experiencing. Because I read some books when something is troubling me and look for something that can be a better alternatives from what I am experiencing. Same as when we are writing. Sometimes we just randomly write something, especially when we are mad. We just write everything that we feel using our notebooks and pens without following a proper sequence of writing. Have you learned something about our discussion for today? It is important that you did. To summarize, communication models are important because it is the one that help us to identify and understand the communication process that is being studied. Models represent new ideas and thoughts on various aspects of communication, which help us to plan for an effective communication system. To finally end my discussion for today, I will be explaining some things about how did I apply the assigned approach in my discussion. The approach that was assigned under my surname is the experiential learning theory. At the beginning, you will probably notice how I am trying to give my invisible students a chance in terms of guessing the lesson that I am going to present. Because as far as I know, this approach is defined as something that the learners are learning best by doing or performing a specific activities on their own, which is why I made them guess about our topic in order for them to sharpen their observing ability as well as their hunches, with having only the basis of the short summarization that I have given a while ago. In addition, I tried to put some of my personal experiences in every models that I have discussed, for knowing that this kind of approach has a connection with one's experiences.